Welcome to Next Step Advanced Sketching Techniques, students. And today we're going to learn how to sketch out a photorealistic scene of a clown and a carnival. All right, let's get started. So first we're going to start with the clown. Clowns have a kind of wild, bushy hair. And clowns are also going to have kind of colorful, kind of bushy eyebrows. And remember, important to know that some clowns are going to wear like fake ears, but our clown's just going to have their regular ears. So there is some variability with clowns. And it's always important to make sure we're maintaining scale and perspective with our clowns, or with any face, to be honest with you. Okay, so clowns are going to have big noses, like red noses that they glue on. And then they're going to have like this paint on their mouth, around the mouth region, but they're still going to have lips. They're going to be kind of inside of the this difference in paint here. And remember, ears have ear holes and the sunlight's not going to reach in there, so we're going to make a little dark spot. And let's continue on with our clown. And now this is where the separation is really succinct between the amateur and the professional. We're going to add some small little contours to make this start tending towards being photorealistic. So we're just going to add a little smaller detail in the hairline here. All right. And we're going to do the neck region. Now clowns a lot of times have frilly frilly shirt sleeves to really get the fans excited. So we're going to add some frills here, and that's on his left arm. And now we'll do the right arm. And then a lot of times clowns have really baggy pants. So the key with this is the inside upside down V, where the seam meets, is going to be normal, but you can see as we go down it's going to widen. And clowns have really exaggerated, large, supersized almost clown boots, and this is just to get people to laugh because it's so silly. I always had a secret desire to be a clown. Didn't happen. One of the regrets I have is not making that happen. And a lot of times clowns have little buckles on their shoes, and they're going to have striped socks. Now this clown, now remember, we can't draw movement, but we can draw action lines, movement lines. So this clown is juggling. It takes a skilled sketcher to draw hands and feet. But this clown is wearing gloves. And remember, the thumb is on the outside and it's the smallest appendage. So we're going to draw an arrow, and maybe he is juggling the 8-ball. And we'll draw a line here to separate that. All right, what else is going to clown? Clowns are going to have striped shirts as well as striped pants. And in the background here, we might have a seal. Now remember, since it's in the background, it's going to be smaller, but we might have a seal, and seals have giant eyes and pretty much like dog noses. in this seal, and they have these kind of weird looking flippers here. And then their front arms are also flippers. And maybe this seal is clapping. Now we can't draw, oh, here's some action lines for the juggling. We can't draw movement with sketching, with art. That's one of the main things I try to teach with my students. So in this case, we're going to draw arrows to show that this seal is clapping. All right, now let's draw the fan area. So the fan area, the seating is going to be here, and these are all going to be people. Now this tricks the eye into thinking that you have a full crowd, and what I'm doing here is a series of octagons, and as we get bigger towards the bottom here of the art piece, we're going to increase the size of the heads. Not because the people are getting smarter or older, but because we're doing perspective. 3D, which stands for 3 dimension. All right. Now, a lot of times at a circus around a clown, you're going to have a unicycle. So let's go ahead and draw that. And the unicycle is going to have spokes, which are these lines coming out. Then it's going to have a big old metal bar here. It's going to have one pedal. A lot of people don't know this. A unicycle is unipedaled. It has one pedal on one side, makes it a little tricky. And then it's going to have another bar coming up here with the handlebars. Now they do have kickstands because they will not stand up on their own. They will tip over. You can try it a million times and it never will. So you have to have a kickstand. A lot of people don't know that for a unicycle. All right, let's continue. So on this side, we expect that we're going to have a crowd, some seats. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start off with these small octagons. And as we move towards the bottom of the page, towards the closer to the viewer, we're going to keep it consistent with the other side, of course. We're going to add these big, giant octagons. We're going to increase the size of the octagons. All right. Now let's add our kind of the background here, the horizon, and let's just say that this show is going on at dusk. Dusk is another word for the beginning of nighttime, and we can say that the sun is starting to settle here, starting to go down. And what else do you expect to see at a carnival or a circus? Well, you expect to see a tightrope. So since this is farther away from the view of the viewer, we're going to draw the tightrope smaller. And then here's the rope going this way. And I might need to sharpen my pen. Nope, I think we'll be okay. I'm going to draw a tightroper. For those of you that are just starting the class, just starting to learn how to draw, maybe hold off on this part and just watch. Watch and learn. There's no shame in that. Drawing such intricacies, such intricate detail this far away does take practice. And a tightroper will have a baton to help them balance. And in addition to that, you're going to have peanuts on the ground because everybody knows that peanuts are on the floor for the mice in the elephant pair, the team of mice and elephants. And we've had a recent sketching class or seminar where we learned how to sketch an elephant. Good news today, we're going to recreate that. We're going to draw an elephant. We're going to draw a little bit smaller than our last one. Why? 3 dimension. We're going to, as we get further away, oh, remember elephants have in their snout, they have 2 holes, 2 nose holes. And elephants have really beady eyes. And they have 2 teeth, almost like a saber-toothed tiger. They use those teeth to hook their prey. And elephants are going to have curly tails like a pig. and then they're going to have 3 toenails. But we know this from our last, if you were in attendance, we certainly know that. So this elephant is getting ready to maybe to stand up on this podium right here while this seal claps. All right, so you have 5 seconds to get your markers to do our outlining. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is make note to ourselves, and we're not going to outline everything. We're just going to outline certain features, especially the clown, because light hits different things in nature with different intensities, different levels, correct? Correct. And that depends on some variables, which are relatively chaotic and really random, like how the certain object is oriented with respect to the light source, in this case the sun. And there's our giant clown nose and the clown paint around the face. A lot of times when I would go to sleep at night, I would fantasize about being a clown, and I would walk into my high school auditorium and really showboat, really showcase myself and win over my whole high school and show them, show them a thing or two about what I'm capable of. And I would go in there juggling, and I would be a baton wizard, and I would be able to do, well, not magic in the sense of flying through the air, but to them it would be magic, like tightrope walking and like interpretive dancing, and by the end, the whole assembly would be mesmerized. All right, so now let's draw the seal. Seals are one of the more harder objects, animals, to really anything to draw, and it's because of these flippers they have. They have really odd looking flippers, and seals are one of the only mammals that are prone to bouts of melancholy, clinical depression. A lot of scientists believe that to be related to the fact that they have these flippers for hands, and it just creates a sense of despair when they're trying to pick things up. It creates frustration, existential angst, I've heard. So a lot of times you will find that seals are clinically depressed and are on medication. A lot of times getting their mind off of things, like having them work in a circus or carnival environment, tends to be the remedy that these weird creatures really need to thrive. They don't do very well in the wild on their own. That's why seals, well, like a lot of animals, need people to help them live in a meaningful way. All right, so here's our clown juggling the 8-ball, which I've never been able to do this. So he's able to throw this ball up, and gravity's going to bring it back down. We want to respect physics, and he's going to be able to catch that ball in the same hand as he threw it up, and pretty much that's juggling. All right, over here we have this unicycle, and remember, unicycles, like any unicycles are going to have a single pedal, which adds a layer of difficulty if you are the one driving this. I would not want to drive this down the road. I think that I would be a little worried that I would be hit by a car. Now, unicycles are legal. They're certainly, you can drive a unicycle on the road. There's no law against doing it, but I would say, unless you're a professional, please do not drive a unicycle on a main road. I do like to add disclaimers. Another disclaimer I want to add is being a sketchist can be taxing on the hand muscles, and you really want to take time out of your day, an hour or two. If you have kids, especially in a wife, or you have a husband, the kids, or any type of family, you need to let them know that you need a couple, 2 to 3 hours each day of me time to just sit there and relax and let your hands rest. This is our passion, our pastime. This is how we pass the time. So we want to respect our bodies, and so you certainly want to ask your family to give you really at least 3 hours per day. Okay, so we're going to color now. Today I've chosen the color yellow. It's one of my favorite colors. And we're not going to color everything yellow. We're going to do select color. So there's the sun going down. We expect that to be yellow. I've seen clowns before with yellow hair. Certainly, I'm sure you have too. So let's go ahead and do that. And perhaps he has yellow face paint. And he thought, well, today I'm going to match my yellow hair and face paint with this yellow shirt and these yellow socks. Of course, the boots are not yellow. Now, some folks in the crowd, scoot this over for you a little bit. Some folks in the crowd are going to have yellow hair or blonde hair, so we can color a little of those. Now, a seal obviously is not yellow, but the podium that he is on is yellow. Same for this elephant, and then popcorn is kind of a yellowish tint to it, and maybe the tightroper is wearing a yellow outfit. And let's go over here to this side, and we're going to color a few here. And just scanning over our painting, our master sketch now, I think anybody would be hard-pressed to have the ability to distinguish this from, say, an actual high-definition or ultra-high-definition photograph. If you were unable to attain the sophisticated sketching articulation and level of subtlety that I did here today, please do not fret. This has taken me so long to be able to get to this point. I've been doing it for many, many, many years. Please don't give up. Keep trying. And one day, I promise you will be able to be an artist such as myself. Some of it is you're born with, but a little bit of it you can learn by continuing to practice and sketch. All right, as I always say, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you who've been participating in advanced next step sketching techniques of a clown in a carnival or a circus landscape. Thank you.